Let us take one problem of Millman's theorem so that we can understand how exactly we have to apply Millman's theorem to a particular circuit. Of course, the circuit should have number of sources with their internal resistance connected in parallel. Only then you can apply Millman's theorem. So when you apply Millman's theorem to this circuit, what you can see is there are two sources, V1 and V2, with their internal resistance R1 and R2 connected in parallel. So according to the statement of Millman's theorem, what we can do is we can replace this entire network with one single voltage source and one single resistance connected in series with the voltage source represented by V and R, and then we can connect the load resistance, and it will be easy for you to calculate IL by this formula. IL is equal to V upon R plus RL. Okay, so what is V? The formula is specified here. The plus and the minus sign is specified because of the polarity of the source. If they provide same current through the load resistance, plus sign will be there. If they are with the opposite polarity, they will cancel each other. Therefore, the current through the load resistance will differ. Okay. Therefore, the sign convention, negative sign convention, will be used. As I have told you, G is the conductance, which is reciprocal of resistance. Okay. So for this circuit, we need to calculate IL, right? V upon R plus RL. So the first thing what we will do is, see here in this circuit, V1 is 20 volt, V2 is 10 volt, G1 is G1, G2, G3 we have to calculate. What is G1? G1 is 1 upon R1, and what is R1? R1 is 30, so it will be 1 upon 30. Similarly, G2 is 1 upon R2, which is 1 upon 20. If you have all this value, you can easily calculate the value of V and R. Once you get the value of V and R, substitute that value in the equation for IL, you can easily calculate the value of IL. Okay, so the first one which we will calculate is the V, equivalent voltage. So this is 20 volt. Now you can see the polarity of the sources are same, so same current will flow through RL, so it will be 20 into 1 upon 30. V1, G1 is 1 upon 30, plus next V2 10 multiplied by G2, so it will be 1 upon 20 upon G1 plus G2, right? G1 plus G2, so it will be 1 upon 30 plus 1 upon 20. So this entire thing can be written as, this is say 600, so this is 300, sorry, this is 400 plus 300 divided by 50 upon 600. I hope you have understood how I have done this. So this entire thing can be written as 700 upon 600 multiplied by 600 upon 50. This value gets cancelled, so this is 700 upon 50, so the value will be 14 volt. So we have calculated an equivalent voltage from this formula. Second step, of course, will be the calculating R. So in the second step, we will calculate R. What is R? R is 1 upon G, and what is 1 G? G1 is G1 plus G2 plus G3 we have calculated. Okay, so this will be, R will be 1 upon 30 plus 1 upon 20. So this value will be 1 upon 50 upon 600, or it will be 600 upon 50. The value is 12 ohms. So now we have calculated V, calculated R, we know the value of RL, we have to just substitute the value and get the answer. So what will be IL? IL is, what is the value of V? 14 divided by R, we have calculated 12, plus RL, RL was given as 25. So this is 14 upon 37. 14 upon 37, and if you calculate this value, it will come out to be 0.37. Of course, we are calculating current, so unit of current is ampere. So it will be 0.37 ampere. If you directly solve this circuit, of course it will become very difficult because you have to individually calculate the resistance and then the voltage source, and then you have to apply the formulas to calculate the IL. But Millman's theorem helps you to simplify the circuit and solve the circuit in much more easier way. So that is the objective of understanding Millman's theorem. I hope you have understood. Hello student, the last theorem which we will try to understand is maximum power transfer theorem. Let us again start with the statement for maximum power transfer theorem. Statement. It states that when a load is connected to a source, power is transferred from the source to the load. Of course, when a load is connected to a source, power will be transferred from the source to the load. Maximum power is transferred. Power is transferred from the source to the load when load resistance is made equal to internal resistance of the source. See, in the previous topics what we have understood is that whenever you design a source, of course it has to be designed using some components, and the resistance offered by all the components is called as impedance, which is nothing but the internal resistance of the source. So every source when you design will have its internal resistance. We denote by Ri. This is the source, this is Ri. And when such a source is connected to load, resistance connected across the output is called as load resistance. We denote it by RL. So when source is connected to a load, power will be transferred from the source to the load. According to maximum power transfer theorem, maximum power is transferred from the source to the load when RL is made equal to Ri, right? Because internal voltage source will be constant. Once you design a source, the output voltage for that source will be constant, Ri will be constant. So you have to make RL equals to Ri so that maximum power is transferred from the source to the load. Okay, so of course we can mathematically prove that this is true. If this is true, then maximum power will be transferred. We will do both the things. Mathematical, we will prove that Ri is equal to RL, and second thing is we will solve the problem so that you can understand if that statement is true or not. Okay, so of course in this circuit what you can see is the current flowing in the circuit IL. Of course two resistors are connected in series, so current remains same, right? So current remains same, so current through RL will be IL, let us denote it by IL, will be total voltage divided by total resistance. Okay, and what is power? Power is V into I, right? Voltage multiplied by current, or in other terms I can specify it as I square RL. Okay, as I am calculating power delivered across load, I am specifying it as RL, and of course the current which will be flowing through RL will be IL. So it will be P is equal to I square RL. Let this be equation number 1. Let this be equation number 2. So the formula will be P is equal to V square upon Ri plus RL whole square multiplied by RL. Now to find out the value of RL for which maximum power is delivered, we have to differentiate right hand side by RL and equate the equation to 0. Okay, so right hand side has to be differentiated with respect to RL. So, and we have to equate that equation equals to 0. So that value will be V square ddRL of RL upon Ri plus RL the whole square. Okay, and this entire equation has to be equated to 0. So now when you solve, this equation will be V square differentiate this value R plus RL the whole square ddRL of RL and minus it will be RL into ddRL of Ri plus RL the whole square upon Ri plus RL of course a whole square, that square will be raised to power 4. So that is the formula, and this value will be again V square Ri plus RL the whole square ddRL of RL is be 1 minus this will be 2 into RL Ri plus RL upon Ri plus RL raised to power 4 equals to 0. Now multiplying and dividing Ri plus RL raised to power 4 upon V square from both sides. So what we get is, this is Ri plus RL whole square minus 2RL into Ri plus RL equals to 0. So here this is Ri plus RL square, this is Ri plus RL. So Ri plus RL gets, we can take common. So Ri plus RL we will take common. So what left in the bracket is Ri plus RL minus 2RL equals to 0. So Ri plus RL minus 2RL is written as Ri plus RL Ri minus RL equals to 0. Of course, addition Ri plus RL cannot be equal to 0. Therefore, Ri minus RL equals to 0 or Ri equals to RL. So, the value of resistance for which maximum power is delivered is Ri is equal to RL. As Ri is constant, we have to make sure that we make the value of RL equal to Ri so that maximum power is transferred from the source to the load. So this is what exactly we mean by maximum power transfer theorem. We will take numerical so that you can understand the exact use or the exact objective of understanding maximum power transfer theorem. Let us take one numerical based on maximum power transfer theorem so that we can understand what exactly it means. Okay, so the statement is a generator generates 200 volt and has an internal resistance of 100 ohms. We need to calculate power delivered to the load of two different values, 100 ohm and 300 ohms. Okay, and then we have to comment on the result. So the first thing is, what are the things which are given? Source voltage 200 volts with internal resistance of 100 ohms, and then we have two different values of RL for which we need to calculate power. So we will consider it to be RL1 as 100 ohms and RL2 as 300 ohms. Okay, so what is IL is V upon Ri plus RL. Okay, so case 1, right? Case 1, P is IL square into RL. Okay, so I will specify here as RL1, right? So IL square means V square upon Ri plus, in case 1 it will be RL1 whole square multiplied by RL1, right? So what is V square? V square is 200 square upon, what is Ri plus RL? Ri is 100 ohms. In first case RL is also 100 ohms, so 100 plus 100 whole square and multiplied by RL1. So what is the RL1 value? It will be multiplied by 100. So this is 40040, so 4000 multiplied by 100. Okay, so both gets cancelled. Unit of power is watt. So when load resistance RL equals to 100 ohms, power delivered is 100 watt. Let us take case 2. P is again IL square into RL2. Now again it will be V square upon Ri plus, now it will be RL2 the whole square multiplied by RL2. So now when you multiply, this value will be, of course, 200 square divided by, now Ri is 100 and RL is 300, so it will be 400 square multiplied by the value of RL, that is 300. So this is 4000 upon 16000 multiplied by 300. So this is 1 upon 4, so it will be 0.25 multiplied by 300, which is 75 watt. Okay, so now we had two different values of RL for which we have calculated power. Now you have to see the result. The power delivered is maximum when RL equals to 100 ohms. That means when RL is made equal to Ri, right? When RL is equal to 100, of course Ri value was fixed 100 ohms. So when RL is equal to Ri, maximum power is delivered. So that is what is maximum power transfer theorem. I hope you have understood. Let us take one more problem for maximum power transfer theorem. The statement is, under matched condition, power delivered by the load is 150 watt. With load current of 5 ampere, calculate the voltage generated by the generator. That means we need to calculate V. Okay, and what else will be given? What else is given? P is given. Okay, P is equals to 150 watt. Output load current is given, IL is equal to 5 ampere, and one more thing is given, under matched condition. That means we have been clearly specified that Ri is equal to RL. So let us start with P is equal to IL square into RL. So RL is P upon IL square. So it will be P is 150 upon IL square will be 25. So this value will be 6, right? The value of resistance RL is equal to 6. As RL is equal to Ri, the value will be, Ri value will also be 6. So what will be V? V is total current multiplied by total resistance, Ri plus RL. So V is, I is 5 multiplied by Ri plus RL. 6 plus 6, that value will be 6 plus 6. So V is 5 multiplied by 12. V is equal to 60 volt. So the voltage generated by the generator is 60 volts. So this is one way of asking a question for maximum power transfer theorem. There is one more way in which the problem can be asked on maximum power transfer theorem. The statement is AC generator has an output voltage of 300 volt with internal resistance of 100 ohms. Find power delivered under matched condition. Okay, so what are the things which are given? AC generator has an output voltage of 3, so V is given 300 volts with internal resistance of 100 ohms. That means Ri is equal to 100 ohms given, and it has been clearly specified that under matched conditions. So we know Ri is equal to RL. That means RL is also 100 ohms. Okay, so what you need to calculate is power. So I leave it to you. You know the formulas, you know the way in which you have to proceed. I want you to calculate and get the answer for the same problem. So this is all about your unit number 2. Okay, so unit number 2, we started with Kirchhoff's current law, Kirchhoff's voltage law. We tried to understand sources of electrical power, AC source, DC source, practical and ideal voltage source, practical and ideal current source, Kirchhoff's law, then superposition theorem, Thevenin's, Norton's, Millman's, maximum power transfer theorem. All this helps you to simplify an electronic circuit and solve that electronic circuit to calculate. Basically what we are calculating is voltage, current or resistance. So that was the objective of understanding unit number 2. In the next video we will start with unit number 3.